Greetings, salutations, and welcome to After Action. I'm your host, Patrick Kreeger, and I'm joined once again by Matt.
What's going on?
We have plunged back into the water here. Just in case you guys were worried, no, we're not quite done with our shark reviews just yet. And we're back with Shark Attack 3, Megalodon, baby. And Baby Megalodon. Spoilers. So, watch, don't watch.
100% watch.
I'm in complete and total agreement with you, my good friend. Yes, this movie is indeed a watch. If you like shark films, if you like bad movies, if you like B movies, if you like movies to watch at a party, this film is for you.
Yes.
It may not be the best one out there, but it is pretty decent.
It's actually a good film. Like, the acting was pretty bad, but, like, good. It's hard to explain with these, to explain this in a podcast, but the acting was great, like, B-movie acting.
Yeah, like, they were trying, they just weren't very good.
Exactly, and that is definition acting for this, and it was a great flick.
So we're actually going to be getting into spoiler territory right away.
Oh, yeah.
After we read the description from the back of the box. Shark Attack 3, Megalodon. Two researchers find a gargantuan shark's tooth off a Mexican coast. Soon they realized it's not from an ancient fossil, but from a living prehistoric terror. 94 minutes long, color, widescreen. Rated R for some language. Yes, there was both Spanish and English in this film.
Is that it? That's all it was rated R for?
No, sexuality, violence, and gore.
Sexuality.
Yes, they're not mentioning the nudity.
No.
Nor the incredible amounts of profanity in this film.
Oh, there was language.
Yes, there was indeed some language. So, we're getting into spoilers now. Matt, would you like to go over the plot of Megalodon?
No, I think it's a mistake every time I do it. I think you're the best,
All right, I'll guide us through the bush then. We start off with our two leading men, a couple of what I assumed were Mexican policemen. Were they Coast Guards? Were they lifeguards?
It was never really, specifically, stated.
Well, maintaining the tradition of lifeguards around the world, these lifeguards, I'm going to say they're lifeguards based on the blue uniforms that match the lifeguard on the beach.
Sure.
These lifeguards carry guns.
Yes, absolutely. Common thing with lifeguards, they are all issued some firearm, one or another.
Indeed. Though I must take a step back. One step back. Unlike Stalin's troops.
Jesus.
We start our film actually off with a underwater welder working at 1,500 feet below sea level, welding on what we assumed was like an oil drilling platform or pipeline, but turns out to be a communication line.
Yes.
Yeah. And
AT&T.
Was it?
Yeah, and it was the same company that was in Toxic Shark. Those were AT&T lines.
Huh. I thought it was Apex.
Well, that's the company, but It was like the lines were there from AT&T.
Indeed. Oh yeah. So they were repairing them or something.
Yeah.
So anyway, Shark eats the man who's out there doing underwater welding and splashes around on the surface. That surface of the water that's 1,500 feet down.
Yeah, so deep that they had to pressurize the dude for 6 hours and another 2 for
it was
something
2 hours
else.
of descent.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, 2 hours of descent. So then we join our Mexican lifeguards as they're out patrolling the beach, as they do in their sports boat thingamabob, and they're on their way to go get themselves some lobster.
Yeah, doing some hooping.
Yeah. So they do a little bit of diving for some Mexican lobster. The Mexican lobsters with the claws.
Yeah.
They don't have claws.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so he's out there diving, and he's looking at this communications line, and he sees a tooth.
Yeah.
So he pulls the tooth out of the line, and he posts it to the internet.
Yeah. Hey, guys, what is this?
It's just generically to the internet. I mean, this was 2002, but...
So there were like 6 of us on there.
Yeah. So it made sense that the right person got that.
Oh, yeah.
Addressed to the internet.
Yes.
So a couple of the line workers, accost the guy like, "Hey, what you doing diving on our line?" He goes, "Just looking for lobsters."
Yeah.
And he does pull up a bunch of lobsters.
Yeah, he gets limits.
Yeah. And then we cut to the San Diego Natural History Museum where a fish scientist is working, and she just somehow gets the shark tooth picture.
Yeah, she's scoping I was gonna say the gram. She's scoping the web. One of the 6 of the people on the internet at that time, and sees it, and she knows exactly what it is, and she decides to take a little jaunt down to Mexico.
Now, at this point, should we mention the 2 reoccurring things we see in this film, which are terrible ADRing.
Oh yeah.
And gratuitous nudity.
Yeah, just every scene, it's got horrible ADR, as well as large quantities of nudity.
Yeah, the opening cutscene on the beach, it's a half topless beach. We get a shark attack fairly early on where it attacks a nude couple.
Yep.
We
Making love in the water.
Yeah. But the shark doesn't actually attack them. It attacks another shark that attacks a seal.
There was a domino effect that you just didn't want to be a part of.
No. A sand tiger shark, apparently. And there's a scene with a couple making out on a water slide.
Yeah. Well, no. First, it was like they were on the beach, high. Because, there's also a lot of drug use. Yes. Lots of marijuana.
Gratuitous drug use.
Yeah. So they were getting high. They climb a fence, go to the top of a water slide, fall down the water slide unintentionally, seriously unintentionally, while making out vigorously, and slide all the way down.
Making out the whole way down.
Yeah, absolutely. What else are you going to do?
And then straight into the jaws of a waiting Megalodon.
If I was a Megalodon, I'd say it's a pretty safe bet that, people are going to slide down that slide and right down into my gullet.
It's funny. You called that, and I'm like, no, they're not that stupid. They're not that stupid. But yeah.
I called a lot of shots in this movie, and I was hoping they would go a different way, but it just didn't, and it just played right into my hand.
Yep, very, very often you were right. And this is the stereotypical Jaws movie. Oh my God, there's a shark in the water. Oh my God, we need to close the beach. And then the beach owner says, no, tourists are expecting to come and see the beach. So actually, the way he phrased it was incredibly creepy. He said, when tourists come to our location, they expect everything to be open and at their disposal. Or at their use or something like that. Something kind of creepy like that. And then said, including the beach. So, yes, we then get shark biologist coming down, and she says like, oh, hey, I'm going to hang around for a few days. But then, people get eaten by the shark. So they say, hey, there was a shark attack. And she says, okay, I'll help you go out and get the shark. Because she's earlier in the film tagged it.
Yeah, she, with a, what do they call it? I don't know, a small, camera.
A lipstick camera.
God.
Can we just mention how creepy the 2 guys were that were helping her?
Oh yeah, Fabio and
Denim
high school.
Man.
Yeah, Denim Man. Well, I mean, he had a Canadian suit on, long hair, cameraman, and then the other guy was just your run of the mill dirtbag.
Can't trust those long hairs.
No, you can't. Let me tell you, no long hair can be trusted.
So, the things I wanted to point out about them were that they were constantly checking out her butt, even though she was in like these frumpy, baggy cargo pants.
Yeah, and I frequently said, what a cargo butt.
Yeah.
They're checking out that cargo butt, which was not unflattering, but it just wasn't like your typical yoga pant, sighting.
Well, it's so typical of its time. This was the early 2000s, or as the English say, the early noughties.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's the thing they say. I don't think I'll ever catch on in the United States.
No, we're so far past that.
So, yes, this was the early 2000s. It was the end of the 90s. So we do have things like carryover 80s bands for some reason.
Yeah. Hardcore 80s hair metal, all-female band in a bar in Mexico. And boy, did they shred.
That's where our high/drunk couple came from that went down the water slide.
Indeed.
They were at that party.
Yeah.
So we do also have a gratuitous amount of swearing, and the swearing is hilarious in this film.
And it's perfectly timed. It's, it's not just like F-bomb, 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 like in just horrible times. It's tasteful almost.
Yeah,
It's
call
comically
it tasteful.
It's comically placed throughout the script.
It is. And one thing we also want to point out at this point, that we've seen a large numbers of photos of Vicente Fox. It's like, we need to prove that these men are Mexican. We'll put up portraits of Vicente Fox in all of their buildings.
Every single building and every single scene.
But that does come back on the other side in a little bit, once we get to know our buddy with the submarine a little better. Yeah, the Navy guy.
That dude was my favorite.
We'll talk about him a little more in a bit. So anyway, we have this shark out on the loose, and the shark goes for the beach, and they protect all the people on the beach, but eventually the shark goes out after a parasailer. And we have that whole parasailer fight scene, which is so predictable.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, very, very Piranha-esque.
And indeed, our parasailer gets gobbled up by the shark. And then, for whatever reason, our leading man and leading lady then say, well, we got to go drink and stuff like that. And they do. And I just had flashbacks to Shark Attack 2, where they went and drank and then went and, toured the town.
Well, that's what you got to do. Mid-movie, at the build-up, like you've met the evil.
Yeah.
You got to drink yourself to sleep.
And then go get married.
And then go get married, essentially. And, wind up in some church.
Lighting candles, presumably for the people.
For the people.
Well, the people who died.
Yes.
Remember, she saw the woman.
I know. But,
Do you want to mention the funniest thing about that scene, though?
What was the funniest scene? What did you think the funniest scene was?
About that woman? About that woman being eaten. Was that she was grabbing for the woman's arm, and then when the woman gets eaten by the shark, then she just suddenly has the woman's necklace.
Oh, yeah, the crucifix. So she's got this crucifix necklace that you don't see because it's under her wetsuit, right? And you see that the main lady grabbing the paraglider's parasailer, whatever, the sports enthusiast, grabbing that soon to be dead woman by the hand and forearm, and the next thing you know, she's just got a necklace, and the chick is getting eaten by a normal sized shark, but it's really a Megalodon baby.
Yeah, they say it's a 15-foot shark, but it's a Megalodon baby, which makes sense.
Yeah,
it does.
It does, but it looked like a totally normal sized shark.
Yeah, it was a great white for the film.
Yeah.
So then they go and they have their whole, well, I guess we're going to get married scene.
You got to have one in every single Shark Attack.
Indeed. Although this film did break with tradition. Whenever a shark was sighted, people didn't just jump in the water after it.
No, that was if that happened, I knew. That's a dead giveaway. No more people are going to die.
Yeah, we're watching a Shark Attack movie now.
Yeah, we're going to go fight this shark head on. The shark's not going to even know what to do with itself after that.
Man bites shark.
Shark just turns upside down and floats away.
So they go back out after the shark, and they do indeed find it. And as is also a thing with the Shark Attack films, our leading lady has a shotgun.
I think it's a thing. I don't know where. I don't know who started it, but women have shotguns on boats, apparently.
In the Shark Attack universe, this is indeed true. The shark busts through the side of the boat.
Very Jaws-like.
Very Jaws-like. And I swear they use stock footage from this in Shark in Venice.
Yeah, you were saying that.
I'm not 100% certain, but Shark in Venice did come out 7 years after this. God, that's sad that I know that. This came out in 2002, and Shark in Venice came out in 2009. Yeah, I'm starting to know these shark films. What now? Anyway, so I think that they used clips from this in the scene where Discount John Travolta was being bitten by the shark as he was going through like his coma nightmares.
Yeah, those were interesting.
Now, we did have a discount man in this film, our leading man.
Yes.
He was Discount
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, and he actually looked very much like Tom Cruise at like 6 to 7 inches in height.
Yeah, I mean, this was Tom Cruise's first role. I mean, when you're starting out in Hollywood, beggars can't be choosers.
In 2001, 2002.
Yeah. Anyway, so we have this whole debacle. They kill the shark, and then bigger shark shows up, flips the boat, and they're like, oh man, help is on its way. There's this little boat coming.
Oh my god! And I called this play by play perfectly. So I go, oh, Francisco over there is gonna cruise on over and save the day. Not. He's totally gonna get eaten by the Meg. And what happens? Out of nowhere, boat gets swallowed up by the Megalodon.
Indeed it does.
And they weren't really that troubled. He was just like, damn.
Oh, that's one thing we should mention. Our leading man and our leading lady cannot act sad for their lives.
No, they're just happy to be in a role, frankly, is what it seemed. They were just stoked out of their minds. And even at their saddest points in the role, they could not shed one tear.
Yeah, they were constantly thrilled at everything that was going on. Oh, that lady just got eaten? Great. Oh, my friend, that I know so well got eaten? Great. I just adore life and everything's going really, really well.
Yes, indeed.
I also forgot, but I wanted to point out that they have like the carcasses of the lobsters in his room earlier.
Yeah, I noticed that.
But that was just funny and a cool detail. Continuity, man. Continuity. They were Maine lobsters, but hey, who cares? So, a helicopter comes.
And I think it's going to get eaten by a Meg.
I thought so, too.
It should have been, frankly.
It was, like, a toy. It was so clearly fake most of the time. So, I thought, yeah, you're totally right. It's going to get eaten by the Megalodon. And,
but no, they just throw down the ladder, and they very poorly attempt to climb up. Almost fall off. The Meg kind of half-heartedly gets out of the water and is like, I'm going to try to bite you, but not really go for you. Even though I do have like 1 million miles of body that I could have just propelled out of the water and totally sucked up everything. The whole helicopter included. But I'm just going to go ahead and, keep the plot going. So I'm going to not swallow you. And they end up making it up to the helicopter. And then at that point, once they're both up in the helicopter, they just dish the ladder. We don't need this anymore. It's weighing us down.
They just throw the ladder out the window. It's cool.
Yeah, it's like, we don't need this anymore. It served its one purpose and one purpose only. It's a one-time use ladder. Ditch it. It's no longer good.
It's not even like the crew of the helicopter throw it out.
No. It's the guy that... it's our discount Tom Cruise, who... Thanks for saving me, ladder. Later.
I love that. So then we really get to know our Navy man, a man with a mini sub.
Yeah, he's also got a portrait.
Yeah, why don't you talk to us about his office, as it were?
All right, his office has got a desk. Directly behind the desk is the United States American flag in all of its glory. To the left, as you look at the flag, is a portrait of George W. Bush. To the right, Dick Cheney. That's how you know this man's a patriot.
He also has life buoys from the USS California and another ship, like the USS Minnesota.
Something like that, yeah. And he's got also, various, what, you can assume to be, war pics from his time served.
Yeah, and he has the crest of the United States Navy and stuff all over the place. He's got weaponry and whatnot lying around.
Just lying around, as a good American should. As all good Americans should.
Indeed. Including a torpedo.
Yeah, you gotta have one of those. And, we find out later that, I believe it's later, that when they were, I guess, decommissioning the subs that he worked on, he was just like, oh, they're gonna just take this whole thing to the scrapyard. Might as well clip a torpedo or two, huh?
Yeah.
Just, all right. I mean, I would. If I had access or the capability to take home some torpedoes. You never know when you need one. Like when you have to fight a Megalodon.
They then fully arm the torpedo inside the attic.
Yeah, that's how you... God. Yeah,
Yeah, you don't have too much to say about that.
Nope.
They then take the torpedo down to the dock, attach it to the mini-sub, at which point our leading lady shoots a crossbow bolt at our leading man, narrowly missing him.
Just to show her prowess with the crossbow.
Yeah.
Claims, they were talking about how are we going to get a tracking beacon or some sort, onto the Meg, so as to coordinate the torpedo to attack it. And she chimes right in with that arrow that narrowly misses our man. And the plot thickens.
It does at this point. So he says, hey, we're going to get going at 8 the Navy man says, hey, we're going to get going at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. So why don't you guys go get some rest? At which point, our leading man says the best line in the movie to our leading lady. What does he say, Matt?
Why don't I take you home and eat your pussy?
The hell does he say that for?
What in the world?
Now, for the TV version, which I originally did see this film on TV, the TV version said, why don't I take you home and we'll watch I Love Lucy?
Yeah, no, they didn't watch I Love Lucy. The scenes afterwards did not depict I Love Lucy. Let me tell you, the viewer.
Yes, as we could say for other films, this particular film is not child friendly.
Nope, it's not safe for work.
No, it is not. Though all the awkward moans you do hear in this film are coming from the shark.
Yeah, it's the shark making those moans, not our leading woman.
This shark makes more grunts and moans than Italian Spider-Man.
I don't get that reference. Sure, man. Sure. This is getting weird.
Dear listener, it is indeed midnight, and we still have another shark film to go tonight.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it over here. We drink some coffee, we power through, and we watch shark films into the wee hours of the morning. And we report it back to you.
Immediately.
Because, by golly, the viewer needs to know fresh out of our minds, and I often forget it immediately after watching. So that's why it's just how it is.
I do have to say that's one of the benefits of these after actions. So, they get up, they go on the mini sub. Leading lady goes in the helicopter
because she's gonna send down an arrow with the crossbow with a beacon of sorts attached to the arrow, making it very, very inaccurate.
They also were going to drop a package of batteries. For whatever reason, they could not put the beacon in these batteries, but these batteries were to attract the Megalodon. But before that, they needed to blow up the communication lines for reasons.
Yeah, AT&T and Apex Communications, suck it.
Are we going to talk about the Apex control room that we needed to see at 5 a.m.?
Yeah, I think so. So Apex Communications has a control room. 2 dudes. They run the show.
Long hair. Never trust a long hair.
Never trust a long hair.
And a guy with earrings.
Yep. Never, and a chin strap. And
it was the early noughties.
Oh, God. And it just, oh my God, cliche. Sirens are going off, after they blow up the the communication, line or whatever.
Yeah.
The head of that portion. They blow that up. HQ's going off. There's alarms. It's like red sirens. And these two guys could not care less. Passing each other a joint, just between the two of them, getting high off their, behinds, and just saying, whatever.
Well, they first did everything they could to reestablish the thing. And then when that failed, they're like, well,
we're not paid enough to do this.
Yeah, let's just get high. And the phone starts ringing, and they're like, one of the guys is like, hey, you going to pick that up? He goes, nah, man, I ain't going to make that call.
All right, just pass that doobie, bro.
Yeah. So communication goes down, of course, and we have a whole bunch of rich people on an Apex boat with some grenades.
A yacht with grenades, and just... I've got nothing else to add about that. Just a joke.
Yeah, and so the Megalodon then starts ramming the boat, and for some reason people go, oh no, the boat's rocking, let's jump into the water.
Where everyone proceeds to, whether they have a life jacket or not, jump into the water. Because it's common knowledge. When the boats are rocking, you go a-jumping into the water, regardless of the consequences. So they get into the water, a handful of them. And there happens to be a life raft already there.
Yeah.
Like, just already inflated.
The crew earlier was throwing over life rafts. That was established.
All right, well, I must miss that. But, so there was a life raft. A group of them jump onto the life raft, and you want to talk about the dudes, the main dude that was on the head of Apex?
I will in a moment, but yeah, let's quickly talk about those life rafts. There were 2 life rafts in the water that we know of, and one of them was full of the wait staff, and I love that they did that. They like put the wait staff in one of them.
Here you go, you menial people.
And the Megalodon then eats the thing, which makes sense. It's a Megalodon. It's going to go for large things.
Yeah,
it's not going to go for the...
swallow, whatever hole.
Yeah, it's not going to go for the little people swimming around. It's going to go for this. So then the head of Apex steals, or I guess it's his, jet ski.
Yeah.
And this particular scene is a GIF worldwide of a man in a tuxedo looking very much like a disheveled Bond.
Yeah, very much like a Bond villain.
Yes, very much like a Bond villain. Jet skis directly into the mouth of the Megalodon.
Yeah, just I totally called it. He just slid right into that shark's DMs.
I love that you said that at the time.
Yeah, I mean, oh no, a Megalodon is opening his mouth. Don't turn, throw my hands up in the air, and scream and wail.
Like I just don't care?
Like you just don't care. And for a good second or two, when you could have obviously evaded the black hole that is the Meg's throat. And, just slide right in. Like Mike Trout sliding into home base after hitting a nice dinger. Well, you don't slide into base after you hit a dinger. But anyway.
So, the lady has previously dropped the battery pack. The Megalodon has eaten it. She's tried to shoot the Megalodon. She missed, of course. So, our Navy guy says, I always keep a spare, and pulls one out of his sleeve.
It's an ace up the sleeve. This guy, he's pulling out all the tricks.
He then straps it to a harpoon gun, and then just walks out of the submarine.
Later, guys.
Like, there's no antechamber or anything.
Nope.
He just opens the door and walks out.
Yeah, let me open the top. He was like, at first they were like, all right, let's surface. And then there was like explosions, and then...
Yeah, because of the grenades.
Yeah. And then they kind of like settled from the explosions, clearly still very deep under the water.
Yep.
And then Navy guy was like, all right, we've waited long enough. Time to literally just open the top of the submarine and walk right out.
And he does. And he shoots the shark and he hits it.
Yep.
But then it falls out.
Yeah.
So he goes to the surface and makes a joke.
as everyone should.
He pops up near one of the life rafts, the only life raft left, which, by the way, hasn't taken new people on board. It's still the same 3 people as earlier.
Yep.
And he pops up, and he goes, wow, I feel underdressed.
Yeah.
What? Okay. So...
You gotta be cracking wise when there's a meg afoot.
So our leading man, Discount Tom Cruise, then starts the emergency beacon on the submarine, which tracks the Megalodon. And
the meg.
It tracks the Megalodon, and the Megalodon bites down. He then launches the torpedo,
and then
starts swimming.
Yeah,
he opens the door too. He just
just walks away, and swims away very slowly. It even focuses on the fact that he's swimming slowly away, and then
he has 15 seconds to clear the blast radius from the time he gets out of the submarine.
Yeah, and so this torpedo does a whole 180, spins back around, and then goes directly into the Meg,
blowing her to smithereens.
Boom.
He then floats to the surface. Leading lady jumps out of the helicopter because, of course,
you gotta.
And
your man is floating.
Random guy jumps out and helps her haul him to the life raft.
Didn't really look like he was doing too much, to be honest, but what can you say?
And that's the end of our movie.
Yeah, they just laugh after that. We just killed a megalodon.
Yeah, they say something really stupidly corny, like, I think they literally say, I got her!
Yeah, like, well, that was easy. Just cheesy film.
So, Shark Attack 3, Megalodon.
Very good. I think that is a very good series.
So, I will say this. This is one of those box sets that is supposed to trick people. It clearly says Meg, a shark. So, and it shows a parody of the Meg posters.
Mm-hmm.
Where there's the poster where Jaws is about to eat the girl and the Megalodon's eating Jaws. And this is a parody of that.
Yeah.
This is supposed to trick people. Do you think people would be disappointed once they get to Shark Attack 3? Is that as good as what you would like? Neither of us have seen the Meg. If someone were to say,
when you see that and it's like $5, you know what you're getting before.
Walmart mislabeled it. Walmart mislabeled it. This is the real deal. Grandmother forgot her glasses at home. She's buying her little boy the Meg. Is he disappointed?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
He's getting value for that. There are a ton of great scenes scattered throughout these movies that just you can't really live without. To be honest, I am a better person for these movies.
And I will say they do start it off strong. If you do start at the beginning, you do get Toxic Shark right away.
And that is a great film.
So, and the only ones that I think are slow-paced are Shark in Venice and Shark Attack.
Sharkman, I did not care for.
Yeah, you didn't like Sharkman. Well, we only have one last film, and then Matt and I will be delving into the waters of something that's not shark-related for a while.
Thank God.
We'll be saving some additional shark films for...
June?
Yeah, June. We're going to do Shark Month.
I'm down. Isn't Shark Week like in August?
It is, because it was originally in June, and then they moved it to August because it actually impacted tourism. Seriously.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, so, I'm down for June being... I
think it's a fun way to start the summer. And it'll be aquatic beast thing. So we'll do like the piranha movies, sea beasts.
You'll do piranha with another guest.
No, it's going to be Matt. You heard it here first.
No, and you'll hear it now. No.
I won't make you watch Piranha 3D, but I will make you watch Piranha.
Jesus Christ.
I haven't seen it yet. I've seen Piranha, but I haven't seen... Or Piranha 3D, but I haven't seen Piranha.
I've seen Piranha 3D. I don't want to see that again.
Yeah, no, I can get it. I can get that. But we'll see Piranha.
Oh my God.
It's a 1970s film. You'll love it.
I want to see Anaconda.
Yeah, which one?
Well, the one I remember, I think it's the first. it's kind of like a water-based anaconda.
Yeah, well, I mean, as anacondas are. We do have Anaconda Hunt for the Blood Orchid on here, which I think is like Anaconda 5. I don't know.
At some point, these movie makers have got to be like, we're wasting more money than we're earning.
No. Actually, mostly these films make their money back like double. They don't really make their money back tenfold, but you'd be hard pressed to find a film that loses money. The Asylum is famous for never losing money. Roger Corman, who makes a lot of these films, I don't believe he's lost money either, and he's been making films since like the 50s. He's literally made like 1 billion films.
That is unfortunate.
Clint Eastwood got his career acting in a Roger Corman film, if I'm not mistaken.
Clint Eastwood is also a man's man.
Indeed. So, until next time, dear listener, see you out there.